Today I helped Micah comb in her flower garden. She always wears colorful clothes. It's like she dresses in rainbows. When she bent down to prune some of the flowers, I couldn't even see her because she blended in with them. She was like a chameleon. Nocome, why do you wear so many colors? I asked. Nocome said, well, Mrs. Sim, when I was your age at home in my community, my friends and I wore many different colors. But at the school I went to, far away from home, they gave us different clothes to wear. All the children were dressed the same, and our clothes weren't colorful at all. We were all mixed together like storm clouds. Why did you have to dress like that? I asked. They didn't like that we wore such beautiful colors, Nocome said. They wanted us to look like everybody else. But sometimes in the fall, when we were alone and the leaves had turned to their warm and autumn hues, we would roll around on the ground. We would pile the leaves over the clothes they had given us, and we would be colorful again. And this made us happy. Now, Nocome said, I always wear the most beautiful colors. After I helped with the flowers, we went over to the back gate. There were vines covering the gate, and they reached all the way to the ground. When my Nocome turned to fix the latch, I saw that her braid hung almost as low as the vines. It was like she had a tail. Nocome, why do you wear your hair so long? I asked. Nocome said, well, Mrs. Kim, when I was your age at home in my community, my friends and I grew out our hair long, just like our people had always done. It made us feel strong and proud. But at the school I went to, far away from home, they cut off all of our clothes. Our strands of hair mixed together on the ground like blades of dead grass. Why do you have to wear your hair like that? I asked. They didn't like that we were proud, Nocome said. They wanted us to be like everybody else. But sometimes in the spring when we were alone and the grass had grown so long and thick in the field, we would pick the blades from the ground. We would braid them into the short hair they had given us, and we would have long hair again. And this made us happy. Now, Nocome said, I always wear my hair very long. After Nocome had fixed the latch, I followed her to the birdhouse. There was a bird flying through the air that had a jingle dress dancer. She fed the bird and whispered, and her words sounded like a poem. Nocome, why do you speak in Cree? I asked. Nocome said, well, Mrs. Kim, when I was your age, at home in my community, my friends and I always spoke our language. But at the school I went to, far away from home, they wouldn't let us speak our words. All the children used their strange words, and we didn't understand them at all. Our voices blended together like a flock of crows. Why did you have to talk in their language? I asked. They didn't like that we spoke our language, Nocome said. They wanted us to talk like everybody else. But sometimes in the summer when we were alone and our teachers weren't anywhere around the place we would whisper to each other in Cree. We would say all the words we weren't allowed to say so that we wouldn't forget them, and this made us happy. Now, Nocome said, I always speak my language. After our gardening work was done, I sat down with my comb in the backyard. Her brother came over and sat with us. He comes over all the time. We drank tea and ate bannock. The tea was hot and sour, and the bannock was moist and warm and melted in my mouth. My Nocome and my uncle talked and laughed like children. Nocome, why do you and Nocomis always spend time together? I asked. Nocome said, well, Mrs. Sim, when we were your age, at home in our community, being with family was the most important thing. We played with each other, did chores together, and shared everything. But at the school I went to, far away from home, they wouldn't let us be together. My brother and I were separate like the day and at night. Why were you and Nocome separated? I asked. Didn't they like that you were with family? Nocome said, because we were together, we thought too much of home. But sometimes in the winter, when we were alone and we were sure that nobody could see us, we would find each other. We would take off our mitts, and in the crisp, cold air, we would hold hands so that we could be with each other, and this made us happy. Now, Nocome said, as she reached over and held my uncle's hand and mine, I'm always with my family.